the moment, the economy's tight and it's been tough and it's a death by a thousand cuts, right? So people are, and then we're introducing KiwiSaver rates. And people are saying this is not a good time to do it. But there's never a good time to start investing, to set goals, to change, to stop eating the chips on the couch, whatever, right? And so it's interesting how we're so trained to say, oh, times are tricky at the moment, times are tough at the moment. But if you ask those people that say that, oh, when were times last good for you? When were times good and what did that mean? There's no concept of, oh, I haven't even thought of that, what
Yeah.
that means. But we're so trained to say, oh, times are, they're pretty tricky out there. But most people probably can't then identify when they thought the perfect time was or the good time was to then do some of the things that they know that they actually would like to do.
It's a lot there.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
I totally agree. Classic example, case in point, like a government. So Nationals in power now. So, oh, well, hopefully, when Labor comes back in, this is not against Labor voters, but just as an example, we need Labor back in so then I can thrive.
Mm,
Well, were you thriving when Labor were in power before? Like, did you make hay
yeah, yeah.
while the sun was shining? Like, if not, why are you going to do it next time? But also, why would you wait for the right government to start doing well? Does that make any sense to you?
I didn't learn that at school. That's the interesting thing I've been thinking about lately is people that think like that. I didn't learn that at primary school, secondary school, uni. I did education.
Goal setting. Did you ever learn about goals?
Yeah. Probably like a little bit, but probably almost like
Compounding
self-interest.
interest?
Yeah, no, not so much. A little bit when I was in accounting and economics, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm probably a little bit lucky with what I studied.
Right.
But on the political side, like I never really got taught that the government would come and fix all your problems, or like do everything perfectly or
No.
create the perfect settings for you.
No.
And so it's interesting to see so many people that believe or think that like may happen or may like be. And I'm not saying that governments aren't important and that they don't, you know, play their role, but for people that are so wedded to that, I think, yeah, I've had government assistance in my life and my family has, but no one, I can't recall anyone that's like, there will be a perfect mix of government interaction.
Right. And that sort of ties back to what you were saying before about, I guess, advice for people if they were starting YouTube or drums or whatever, or trying to fix their finances. They're just, yeah, there's no right time. To think that is very naive and like, n- this is all about you. It's not about the color of the current government or what it's going to potentially change to, or um, whether COVID happens or all these external things. Conflict in the Middle East. There's conflict in the Middle East every couple of years, and constantly there's a positive and a negative force working for you and against you constantly throughout your life. You cannot stop it. Like today, when we pulled up, it was pouring down with rain, really windy, um, and it's raining really hard out there. It's raining on everybody.
Mm.
It's not raining on poor people or people who are not doing so good. It's raining on rich people too. It's Things happen to everybody.
Mm.
It's just completely naive to think that one day the stars are going to align and now I start dollar cost averaging into the ETF.
Yeah, true.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was putting something up on Instagram today where someone was asking me about was XYZ share platform good to invest into for 40 years? And I'm like, dude, like if you haven't started investing, don't even worry about this. Like start. And
Mm.
the analogy I used was imagine 6 years ago when COVID hits and I think, okay, I'm going to try and help people learn more about financial literacy and money and foster some of these connections and conversations. And I go, oh, I wonder if I should use Facebook, email, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I don't know what the best platform is.
So do I
Oh,
do anything?
yeah. And like
Yeah.
that's what people are doing. The only reason you and I are sitting here today and there's a $50,000 studio of these lights I don't even fucking understand and cameras and stuff is like, and this and how this clips onto there and it's noise proof and all of this shit. And there's a carving in the background that a follower sent
I
me.
love that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
bloody
gutted
cool.
it's
Like,
not here.
yeah, is because I sent the first email and
Mm.
went on the journey. And I think similar for you, it's, you know, all of these things that you can now see or have happen for you, they've happened because you've started, but you can connect the dots looking back as Steve Jobs
Yeah.
and say,
Take
right,
a little risk,
mm,
you know. I can't think of a time in my life where risk didn't pay off.
nice.
A risk is, you know,
You must make
there's
some good
risk and then
choices.
there's risk, you
Yeah.
know. Like, I'm not talking about put, you know, all your money on black.
Mm.
That's Guy City. I'm talking about, you know, that's just dumb. So that's not a risk. Like, here's an example. So the first ever podcast interview I did, I'm driving into town, much like I did today. I was almost sick. Like, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And I was asking myself those questions that I later on got. Who am I? What if I can't think of any questions? Or what if this happens? Or this? And I was like, I almost wanted to like text the guy and say, bro, can't make it,
Mm.
and just go back to my life,
Yeah.
you know. But you have to, at some point, put some skin in the game.
Mm. And get uncomfortable.
Yeah.